Hello friends, you're welcome to Queen's Fashion World today. I want to especially thank my subscribers. Thank you so very much. God bless you for your support. And if today is your first time of tuning this channel, you are welcome. I want to encourage you to support me by hitting the subscription button and tap on the bell by the side to receive notification whenever I upload a new video. So today I will be teaching how to draft a collar, a shirt collar. I'll be showing you how you can cut the neck for the shirt. It can be a gown, it can be a shirt, it can be a top. It's the same collar. How you can cut it and sew it and fix it. The most simplest method is what I'm going to use to cut this collar. Before you cut a collar, you need measurements. You have to take the person's measurement. For the garment, it can be a top, it can be a gown. Like for turtleneck, it's the same way we also measure shirt collar. So you can place your tape like this. I'm not seeing very well. So you have to place your tape. Don't measure this part. Bring it down to this down side like so. You measure like this, you see. You first of all tight it and free it by 1 inch. I'm not seeing very well. I'm not seeing mirror. I'm just doing it. So you tight it first and you free it by 1 inch. So mine, I know my measurement is 16. The tight is 15. If you free it, I will have a 16. So if I'm to cut this collar, what I will be looking for will be 18. You add 2 inches for button. 1 inch this way, 1 inch this way for button. Because when you button it, they will lap each other. So you need to add 2 inches for button. So right now, I want to cut the neck. This one is a half-length bodice. It's gown, but it's a shirt-like gown. It has a collar on it. So it's the same method. This video is all about collar. I'm not showing you how to do this thing, every other thing on this gown, but it's about collar. So for you to cut the neck of your shirt for your collar, you measure this part that I folded like this is for button. I will have to hem it for button. So I will start from this point now, which is the front neckline, and I will mark 2.5 inches for the width. Then the depth, I'll mark 3 inches first. So 3 inches like this. But the back, I will mark 1 inch. It's a high neck at the back, so I will connect my chalk like this. I like cutting it both the front and the back. Then for the front, I will mark it like this. I hope you're seeing. So I will mark it like this and cut it. I'm cutting the back neckline now. Both the front and the back, I'm cutting it together. Then I'm cutting the front now. So I will join it and bring it to you to show you how you can draft your collar now. I just finished joining the shoulder and the body of this gown now. I want to measure the neck so that I can cut the collar now. So this is how I normally do it. Remember that the neck is 18 inches, 16 plus 2 inches. So are you seeing? What I have here is 16.5. So I can now cut it down again, only the front, because the back is always high neck. Sometimes if you cut exactly, you'll find out that the neck is too wide, more than the size of the collar. So this is how I normally do it. I will trim it down again. I used 3 inches the other time to cut it. Now I can use a 3.5. After joining the shoulder, it has dropped, so I can use 3.5 now. You just connect it. It's only the front. Connect it like this. top before the shoulder. The button allowance is already folded here. I've already folded the button allowance. So I will measure it again now to be sure. This is how I normally do it. Just measure it all through. It's 18 we are looking for. See, we have 18 inches here. So if the person collar this thing measurement is 18 inches, meaning that if you use the width to be 2.5 inches and use the depth to be 3.5, it will go well. But if the collar is 16 inches, you have to use the depth to be 3 inches. So that is why I don't cut exactly. You have to cut and check. If not, you will have the excess neck. So now I will keep it aside and come to the collar to cut the collar. I have a collar gum here with me. This side has gum. I have a collar gum here with me. This side has gum on it. So you fold it into two like this. So what we are looking for is 18 inches. 18 inches divided by 2, that will give us 9 inches. So I will measure 9 inches like this. You can remove quarter from it. You can remove quarter because sometimes when you open this collar gum and iron it, it will be wider a little, just a little. So for your needle not to climb on top, you can remove quarter from it, or you use the 9. Maybe later you trim it down again. So this is my, let me use marker for you to see. This is my 8 3/4 instead of 9 inches. So this 8 3/4, I will find the midpoint like this. This is the midpoint. Let me pin this thing. So after the midpoint, from the midpoint, I will mark 1/2 inch like this, and this part I can take 3/4. You can use 3/4. You can use 1 inch. Let me use a 1 inch. You can use 3/4. You can use 1 inch. Then you connect your hand like this. Connect your hand like so. Then from this part now, you connect it to this line like this. So having done that, I will now mark 1 inch for each of this. I'll just mark 1 inch. This is the small collar. 1 inch like this. Then I will connect it together like so. So I will measure 1 inch again from this angle now. I'll mark it like this, straight. I'll bring it straight like this. Before I will now mark this collar, I can use 2.5 inches. Before we normally use 3 inches, but now the collar standard has been reduced, so it's not always big again. So you can use 2 inches for a smaller collar. There are some that you use 2 inches. For adults, for shirt collar, there are some you will see 2 inches, this lace, some 2.5 inches. So let me mark 2.5 inches. I will go ahead and mark 2.5 inches like this. Then I will come on this side now. I will mark 2 inches or 1 3/4. 1 3/4, yes, 1 3/4. Then I will connect it. Let me remove the pin here. I will connect it like this to this part now. So if you want your collar to have a V shape, you can bring your hand like this. You can cut it like this, you will have a V shape. But if you want your collar to be straight, then you use this one. If you want this place to be straight, you use this one. If you want it to be V, you use this one. This part now, you will have to slant it. Don't leave it straight. slant it like this, give it this slant shape like so to add beauty to your collar. So this is your shirt collar. Now you can notch this place. Please, whenever you cut the collar, make sure you notch this part. Now this is the part that are to face each other. The way we cut it, you have to notch it very small. Notch it like this, just small, the both side. If you don't do that, when to sew this collar, you have issues. You will be confused. You will not know the side that to face this side. You will not know the side that to face this side. The best thing to do is to notch it like this. So now I want to gum the collar gum to the Ankara fabric. So I will place it like this and gum it. When gumming this collar, make sure you let there be a space in between these two, because you remain allowance here and there. Just watch the way I'm doing it now. You gum it like this. So after gumming it like this, you can now trim it out. So when you cut it out like this, you place it on top of the Ankara like this. The front, they are facing each other like this. So you can now cut the second one, the same thing to this one. Just cut it the same way you cut this other side. So now that I've finished cutting it like this, I will keep this one aside and bring this one. So you iron this one, fold it like this. Not this side that we notch, leave this side that we notch, which is the side that is curved. Leave it like that, but this straight side, you need to bend it like this, the 1/2 inch allowance. Bend it like so. So that when you go to machine, it will help you to sew it properly. If there is no privilege of bending it with iron at that moment, then you can run thread on top and catch it like this all through. It means that the thread will show double. Some persons do it that way. So I will go to machine now to sew the collar now. See what I'm doing. Make sure the front, they are facing each other like this. And leave this part that we notch, leave it too. First of all, sew this other side like this. Hold it like this. And just sew it. Make sure your needle did not climb on top of the collar. Okay, so you sew it like this. And bring it like this. See what I have here? Then you notch it like this. Just cut it out like a V shape. Cut this part too, this side too, like this. And turn it now. Then use your scissors to push it out a little. So I will just iron this line. Let me iron it. Okay, now that I've finished joining this part now, I'll keep it aside like this. So this one now, I will notch the center of this one like this. Notch it small. I will notch the center of this like so. Also notch this side, the two sides. Then I will bring this one now. See, this is the center, and I will also notch this one center. So when notching it like this part that has gum, this is the front, the collar gum, and this one is the front. So let them face each other like this, the gum facing this other gum, the center to center, and check that this curving part is the same. So you start from the center like this to sew. Just sew it all through like this. I can stop here now. You turn it like this. Now you can now sew this side, or you finish this side first. When you turn it, you can now finish this side. I turn it to this side so that I can see the gum very well. Connect it like this. This space now is the 1 inch for the button. The 2 inch that will add 1 inch this way, 1 inch this way. So you hold this side together like this. Curve it like this too. Just follow the shape of the collar. So this one now is the one you use and attach to this thing. So just follow the shape of the collar and sew it like this. Leave this allowance here. The same thing to this side. You can curve it. You can trim it now. You can trim it out. And turn it like this. Turn it out like this. There is something else you can do if you want thread to show on this collar now. Before you turn this place, you first of all run thread. I can still run it now, no problem. Let me just run it, because I will eventually run thread on this part. So let me run it so that it will show like a design. You can do without it like this. I would have run it before attaching the collar, but it's still okay. So you see, this thread now is like a design to the collar. Let me fix it now. So this, you see the way it is. This part that I notch now, bring it to the center back like this, and you sew it in front and turn it to the back, so that this collar side will be in front, will be showing outside. So you sew it from this center back now. So sew it from the center back like this. And when you're sewing it, check the neck and your collar. Make sure you check it, match it well. Make sure they are equal. Are you seeing now? So you turn it this way. Sew it from the back now so that you will catch the collar very well. Make sure you check the neck and the collar. So you turn it like this now. See what I have here. You can now flip it like this. Turn it over to the back, which is the front. Start from the center again to cover this sewing allowance like this. Cover it up like this. Make sure you balance this side well. You can use scissors to push the allowance in. So curve it the same way you curved the collar. Then you can climb on top of this one like this. Very tiny. Like I said, the thread on top is like a design to the collar. It makes it beautiful. When you get to this side, make sure you cover this side first, the way you will sew it before you run thread at this other part. Push this side in too. Make sure you balance it well before running thread at this other part. So you curve it like this too. Turn it this way too, like this. Just run it like this. So this is your collar now. So this is the color now. This is the same method you use for shirts, for top, for gown. This is a female color that you use for shirt, for top, for gown. Thank you so very much for watching. Please like and share this video to encourage me. Thank you. God bless you.